on the human nutrition and the digestive system. So, the digestive system is a group of organs that break down food in order to absorb its nutrients and supply energy to our body cells and tissues. The digestive tract begins at the mouth, which is adapted to receive food via ingestion and break it down via mastication, and enzymatic digestion through features such as the saliva, teeth, tongue and palate. The process of digestion is triggered before you begin eating. Your salivary glands in your mouth become active as you see and smell food. Upon ingestion, your teeth chew food into smaller pieces, while your saliva then mixes with the food to break it down further until small enough to swallow, where your tongue then guides the food to your throat and esophagus. The esophagus is a long muscular tube that connects the oral cavity to the stomach. When swallowing, the esophagus folds over the trachea, allowing food to pass down the esophagus into the stomach, aided by a series of muscular contractions termed peristalsis. To ensure the correct direction of movements to the esophagus, it's gated by two sphincters. The stomach is hollow. It's a hollow organ that holds food while it is being mixed with stomach enzymes such as pepsin. These enzymes continue the process of breaking down food into an absorbable form. Along with these other enzymes, cells in the lining of the stomach secrete hydrochloric acid to aid in the digestive process and create an optimum environment for enzymatic activity. The smooth muscle of the stomach aids in digestion via peristalsis. Following sufficient processing, the contents are released into the small intestine. The small intestine is a 20-foot long muscular tube composed of three segments: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Food is moved along the small intestine to the colon and large intestine via peristalsis. During this journey, enzymes and digestive juices break down food molecules further. This further breakdown primarily occurs in the duodenum before moving to the jejunum and the ileum, which are mainly responsible for absorption of nutrients into the bloodstream. The length of the small intestine and presence of the villi, microvilli and crypts increase the surface area for maximum absorption. Okay. The large intestine or colon is a 6-foot long muscular tube connecting the small intestine to the rectum, which is responsible for processing waste so that emptying the bowels is easy and convenient. The large intestine is made up of the cecum, the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the sigmoid colon, which connects to the rectum. Following the digestion, the waste or stool is transported through the colon via peristalsis, where the water is removed throughout the journey. This results in a more solid form, which is stored in the sigmoid colon until a mass movement. Now, this empties it into the rectum for the process of elimination once or twice a day. The rectum is an 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus, which contains the stool until it triggers evacuation. Okay. Via sending chemical messages to the brain to release the rectal contents in order to eliminate the stool. The sphincters relax and the rectum contracts, disposing of its contents. The anus is a 2-inch long canal made up of the pelvic floor muscles and the two anal sphincters. These sphincters keep us continent until it's time to eliminate the stool from the body. The consistency of rectal content is identified by the lining of upper anus to signal to the brain whether the content is gas, liquid, or solid. Now, the body has various accessory organs which aid in digestion. The liver secretes bile into the small intestine to aid in fat and vitamin digestion, and is involved in processing the nutrients and raw materials absorbed from the small intestine to produce the various chemicals that the body requires to function, while detoxifying potentially harmful chemicals. The bile made by the liver is stored and concentrated in the gallbladder, which releases the bile into the duodenum to aid in absorption and the digestion of fats. The pancreas is responsible for the production and secretion of digestive enzymes into the duodenum to break down protein, carbohydrates, and fats. The pancreas also aids in digestion by producing the chemical messengers, hormones, for example, such as insulin, which is passed directly into the bloodstream to metabolize sugar. Now, mechanical digestion in a physical process that breaks down food. Mechanical digestion is a physical process that breaks down the food into smaller pieces to increase both surface area and mobility. It includes mastication, churning, peristalsis, and segmentation. Chemical digestion relies on enzymatic reactions and alkaline acidic secretions to improve digestion. Enzymes are natural catalysts that increase the rate of chemical reactions. Enzymes require certain conditions in order to carry out their functions. For the enzymes in the body, the optimal temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, and the optimum pH depends on the site of action. For example, enzymes in the stomach have an optimum pH of about 2 because the stomach is acidic, whereas the intestinal enzymes have a pH of about 7.5. Now, mechanical and chemical digestion work simultaneously. For example, in the oral cavity, the teeth and tongue break food into smaller bits and mix food with saliva, which contain the enzyme amylase, and maintains the pH of the oral cavity at an average 6.7. Every human requires a balanced diet made up of starchy carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, protein, dairy, and healthy fats. Each provides the range of vitamins and minerals our bodies need to function efficiently. There are different enzymes to break down different substances. Carbohydrates break down carbohydrates break down carbohydrates. For example, amylase produced by salivary glands, and the pancreas breaks down starch into maltose. Proteases, for example, pepsin found in the stomach, break down proteins into amino acids. Lipases break down fats, for example, pancreatic lipases break down triglycerides into fatty acids and glycerol. Lactase breaks down lactose in dairy products into glucose and galactose. And fruit and veg are broken down by a variety of different enzymes in the tracts and contain enzymes themselves.